Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including new Cybertruck production leaks, Tesla price cuts imminent, Tesla buying a wireless charging company, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, as Tesla's 2023.26 update has been rolling out to customers, we're discovering new features. The last big feature that was uncovered and not in Tesla's release notes was the ability for the car to suggest a destination based on your location history and various other apps that the vehicle is able to interact with, like calendar events. Even more features were found outlined in Tesla's owner's manual, though, that affect the vehicle's HVAC system, backup camera, and more. The first feature aims to increase the quality of the calls made in the car by decreasing noise. The owner's manual says, when in auto, the fan speed may automatically lower to reduce the sound of ambient noise while on a call. That's a small convenience that'll likely save a few seconds when you take a call. Another feature popped up in the manual, though, that doesn't appear to actually be included in this update. In the rear-facing camera section, it says, quote, drag the camera feed to different positions on the touchscreen depending on your preferences. It's unclear if this is a typo or an upcoming feature, because as it is, the rear camera is fixed in place, taking up the full screen. This could allow drivers to have more flexibility in this scenario when shifting into reverse or bringing the camera up while driving. Lastly, a feature was spotted that allows the drivers to pause the pedestrian warning system. Because EVs are so quiet, this system was added to make them audible to pedestrians. It plays a sound when the car is moving at certain low speeds or when the car is in reverse. That new feature appears to only be available in model years between 2019 and 2021, though. It's odd that it's something not available on newer cars, and that could have something to do with regulation. I can definitely see the validity of this update, since anytime you're in a situation where this warning sound just keeps going, it can be a bit much. We'll see what comes of this, though, when these updates arrive on customer vehicles. Next up today, a closer look at Tesla's megacharger has leaked. This is the massive charger that's used just for the Tesla Semi, at least for now. It has a different charging connector than NACS and has a much wider cable, capable of carrying a lot more power to the 900 kilowatt-hour battery pack in the Semi. We often talk about Tesla opening new NACS chargers every day, but they're also opening new megachargers to make their Semi a more effective option for shipping companies. So far, this truck has only been produced in very small numbers and only shipped to a few customers. I think actually one, as far as we know. It's mostly been used in Tesla's own operations on top of that. Because of that, there aren't a lot of public chargers that we've been able to see. This new megacharger, though, has been deployed at their supercharger station in Baker, California. That sits right between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. These photos were posted by a Tesla road tripper, and it's the biggest Tesla charger we've ever seen. Quote, Baker, California supercharger. Check out the Tesla supercharger for the semi-truck. It's massive. Check out that tool. It's connected and ready to go. Can't wait to see the Tesla semi-trucks on the 15 between Las Vegas and California. This charger has been rumored to have a capacity of up to 1,000 kilowatts, which would allow it to add up to 400 miles to the Tesla Semi in about 30 minutes. The electrical ratings on this station are reportedly suggesting a much lower charging capacity, and according to Electrek, that could be because it's a mobile charging station. We'll likely be seeing more permanent stations popping up for this truck as it ramps production, but we don't expect to see volume production until the end of 2024. Next up today, there's a chance Tesla may be cutting prices again for both the Model 3 and Model Y. Price cuts have been a big part of Tesla's strategy ever since their massive price cut in January of this year, dropping certain cars up to $20,000. As a result, we've seen their profit margins decrease, but their growth continue as they scale up vehicles. Ultimately, that's great news for everyone, since more people can afford these cars. Now it looks like Tesla may be on the cusp of dropping prices again for their most popular cars, but we may not see any prices reduced in the US. They're reportedly set to receive discounts between 6 and 11.9% in Hong Kong for several configurations. Model 3 configurations there are currently between $43,745 and $52,168 US, while the Model Y is between $47,065 and $54,963 US. With this cut, the Model 3 could drop to $38,539 for the rear-wheel drive model, and the Model Y could drop down to $41,464. In the US, the Model 3 is starting at $40,240 and the Model Y starts at $47,740. Tesla is competing with a lot more domestic EV makers abroad, and that increased competition has impacted the demand for a Tesla. That could explain why we're seeing these prices decrease, at least according to reports. Elon explained during their Q1 earnings call that prices fluctuate often because they are constantly assessing the market to determine how their vehicles should be priced. Quote, we do our best to evaluate the production output, macroeconomic conditions, and we make a decision. Tesla's CFO added that they review where they stand globally on a weekly basis. That could mean that Tesla's prices could change weekly, which pretty much happened in the US earlier this year. Buying a Tesla almost feels a bit like playing the stock market. If you're in the market and the prices in your area are low, it may be the time to buy because there's no telling how long it will stay that way. It's unclear if prices in the US will reflect the changes that are expected to happen in Hong Kong, but we'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, in the US, Tesla continues selling Model 3s in inventory at discounts, and we still believe this is because we're on the cusp of a refreshed Model 3 Project Highland. That update could, at least for a period of time, increase the Model 3's price as a result of increased demand on a refreshed Model 3. As I always say though, it's good to keep up with these updates as much as you like, but once Tesla is shipping the car that you want, with the features you want at a price you are comfortable with, it's probably the time to buy. Tesla is always on the cusp of updating something, whether that be a feature or the price, and they never wait for a yearly refresh cycle to do so. Next up today, there have been a few more Cybertruck sightings. Tesla's hilarious F-150 wrap has been spotted again, another prototype was seen near Palo Alto, and a new video leaked of the production line that gives a bit of a progress update. The F-150 wrap was spotted in transit in California, displayed prominently on the back of a semi. Tesla is making no attempt to hide this truck here, so if their intention was actually to disguise the Cybertruck, they seem to be doing a pretty terrible job. I'm pretty sure at this point that this is Tesla's way of keeping the Cybertruck on everyone's minds as it nears production in the coming months, and that's a great move on their part. They're parading it around with a funny wrap that people can't help but talk about, and it's great free advertising. Simultaneously, it could be the only wrap that somewhat actually disguises this truck since it's so distinct. Then a prototype with the more familiar camo wrap was spotted near Palo Alto, California. What sets this one apart though is a set of wheel covers that we've never seen before. This has people wondering if Tesla is testing out these new covers or if they're hiding something. It's unknown if that's something we'll see as an option in the configurator or anywhere else. Some are also speculating that it could be Tesla testing something similar to the Knight Rider wheels. Lastly, the Tesla Cybertruck Facebook group posted this video of one Cybertruck being assembled by hand at Giga Texas. Taken from the passenger seat of a moving shop floor transport vehicle, it's hard to see the finer details, but it looks like it already has the interior and windshield installed. This many hands on a body is pretty unusual to see from Tesla since their other cars are usually manufactured by an automated assembly line. This one appears to be on a trolley that can move the body from one section of the factory to another. Most likely, Tesla is just in the early stages of bringing this truck to production, and this line is very much in new development. It's pretty normal for automakers and Tesla to do this. You want to work out all the kinks in the production process before you automate it with semi-permanent and very expensive heavy machinery. It's likely Tesla has already automated parts of the assembly line and we just don't see it in this video, but at the same time, this progress video does worry some that Tesla is showing us one thing while actually further behind in production. In the official photos they've released, you can see the body being suspended by a large machine, presumably taking it to the next stage of assembly. Actual production of this truck seems to be finally nearing, with initial customer intent production to begin later this year. I'm still hopeful we'll see first deliveries in the next couple months while it's still summer. I expect that in the coming weeks we'll also start seeing even more production leaks as Tesla refines their production process. I'm then curious to see how Tesla handles things once this truck is shipping. With over 1 million orders and a slow production ramp, they'll have to honor a pre-order process in a way that they haven't had to in the past. Next up today, Tesla has officially acquired Wiferion, a German company specializing in wireless charging technology. This comes about a month after hearing that the company was intending to sell their shares to Tesla. We can now see at the footer of Wiferion's website, quote, Tesla Engineering Germany GmbH 2023. Neither Tesla nor Wiferion have officially confirmed the deal yet though, so it's unclear how much Tesla paid for the company or what exactly it entails. Tesla Mag spotted a number in Tesla's Q2 2023 financial report though, under business combinations. $76 million accounts for all of Tesla's acquisitions, but this is the only one we've heard about this quarter. We can also probably presume that Tesla is planning to use Wiferion's technology in some capacity to develop their own wireless chargers for their EVs. With this acquisition, Wiferion has shifted away from the industrial customer base they've relied on in the past. Till now, they've been focused on inductive charging systems for vehicles like driverless transport systems, robots, and forklifts. Now though, the German Commercial Registry reports they'll be working on products and services in the field of power electronics and other technical disciplines to support the advancement of electric vehicles and stationary energy storage systems and devices. This includes power generation systems and devices like solar modules, solar electric systems, and other solar energy conversion technologies, as well as all other power generation systems, related products, and components. At Tesla's Investor Day back in March, they teased what appeared to be their own wireless charging pad under a Model S. They haven't revealed any details about that project though, so all we have is this computer-generated image. Hopefully this new acquisition will prompt more information from Tesla soon regarding their future plans for wireless EV charging. It's definitely very exciting to see. Next up today, Tesla is under a new investigation by NHTSA for issues with steering in the Model 3 and Y. Their Office of Defects Investigations started looking into it on July 28th because there were 12 complaints alleging loss of steering control and power steering. It seems to only be affecting 2023 Model 3s and Ys. 5 drivers report a total loss of steering control and 7 report a loss of just power steering, which makes it harder to turn the wheel. So far, only 1 accident has been recorded where a driver was unable to control the vehicle and slid off the road. A few other incidents were reported that posed a pretty big safety risk though. If the investigation deems that risk to be unreasonable, it could be upgraded to an engineering analysis. From there, we could see Tesla facing a physical recall. Most of the recalls we hear about regarding Tesla end up being simple software update fixes, but this could lead to another physical recall, and if it ends up impacting a lot of vehicles, it could be a pretty big deal. This isn't the first time Tesla has had an issue with steering. In March, owners reported their vehicle's steering wheels detaching, resulting in an earlier investigation. Luckily, that only affected a handful of vehicles which were missing retaining bolts, and it was spotted at low mileage. We've come to expect fit and finish issues with new Teslas, but this is definitely not acceptable for a steering wheel to be falling off as a normal part of accepting a new vehicle. So far, we don't have much additional information on these new complaints, but we'll likely get more details in the coming days. Hopefully, it's a simple fix and doesn't impact too many vehicles. Next up today, Tesla has finally resumed the install of Magic Dock adapters at US superchargers. This time, we're seeing one installed in Texas. Tesla started installing their Magic Docks at chargers earlier this year, but we really only saw a small handful on the West Coast and then the East Coast. Since then, they have made deals with various automakers to switch to their connector and use Tesla superchargers. This will be a far better long-term solution, but in the meantime, convenience and regulation for funding, among other things, make the Magic Dock a great option. It immediately allows a supercharger to charge NACS Teslas and CCS EVs. Jared on Twitter said, "It's official. Tesla Magic Docks were installed near me, Fort Worth, Texas. Spoke with the installers and it's unofficial for now. That means it's officially confirmed, but may not be made public yet." Tesla was spotted testing the new charger with an F-150 Lightning as well. This is great to see because Tesla's announcement here was exciting, but lasted about a dozen chargers. Now they're resuming these installs, and it will make a lot of sense until they start providing EV owners with their adapter. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Over at GM, they're on the cusp of releasing the Blazer EV, which was heavily featured in Barbie, and pricing is coming out. It's higher than many expect and does raise questions as to how well it will compete, especially given dealer price markups. The base price of the 2024 Blazer EV 2LT all-wheel drive is coming in at $56,715 MSRP with a 279-mile EPA estimated range. Of course, there is always a customer base for a non-Tesla EV, but quick comparison shows this car starts about $9,000 more than a Model Y with the same EPA range. Up from there, the Blazer RS all-wheel drive gets the same range and a price of $60,215. The RS rear-wheel drive, which seems to focus on range, is $61,790 and gets a GM estimated range of 320 miles. The RS all-wheel drive at $60,000 is expected this summer, and the other two will begin production this fall. The top-of-the-line SS trim is delayed until spring of 2024. It will fully qualify for the $7,500 tax credit when it comes, and dealers will be receiving the first models this month. Genesis is developing their largest EV so far, the GV90 SUV, in partnership with Samsung. It'll be built on Hyundai's next-gen dedicated platform and will be a product of their $85 billion investment into EVs over the next decade. Hyundai Motor Group's CEO has said that the platform would replace eGMP models moving forward. Quote, "It encompasses nearly all vehicle classes, ranging from small and large SUVs to pickup trucks, along with the flagship models of the Genesis brand. It also looks like it'll come with a huge 113.2 kilowatt-hour battery that could get up to 500 miles of range." As for their partnership with Samsung, it'll come with a new Samsung V920 processor, which will bring advanced self-driving features, as well as an infotainment system that includes video game services, games, and more, much like Tesla does. Hyundai is working hard to become a top 3 EV producer by the end of the decade, and this new system will be a huge step in getting there. Mini has unveiled some new details on their next-gen Cooper, and many fans of the brand will be pleased to know it'll ship with their iconic circular display. It'll be a 9.44-inch diameter OLED screen running on their new operating system 9, which is an Android-based software. That new screen will also include a cloud-based navigation system that can suggest routes based on charging stations, which is a system many EV makers have. Another fun feature will be the new Mini experience modes, Core, Green, and Go-Kart. Each will have its own interface, design, lights, and sound effects. The Mini Connected Store will be a place where users can download apps like Air Console games, video streaming apps, and Spotify. The entry-level Cooper E will have a 40.7 kilowatt-hour battery that gets a 186-mile WLTP range, and the SE trim will have a 54.2 kilowatt-hour battery. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see full details on how long Tesla batteries last and the 1 million mile Tesla Model S in the real world, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.